There is a silence that lies beneath the cacophony of the modern world. It is the original sound of the universe, a constant hum of potentiality that we are conditioned from birth to ignore. We chase volume, speed, and visibility, convinced that the greatest power resides in what we can grasp, what we can measure, and what we can control. But the true, catalytic force in a human life is an invisible current, an internal readiness, a supreme confidence we call faith. This is not a story about asking for a change in the weather. It is a profound journey into the physics of human belief, the alchemy of the heart, and the astonishing documented way that sustained conviction rewrites the script of reality itself. It is the narrative of the unseeable, the intangible, the profound power that exists when a human soul stops shouting into the void and begins to tune in. Imagine the human heart not merely as a muscle that pumps blood, but as the most sophisticated radio receiver ever created. It is designed to pick up the faint, distant signals of possibility, of hope, of things that are not yet visible in the immediate physical world. But we leave the dial set to the static of anxiety, the endless news reports of fear, and the grinding loop of past regrets. Our power is muted because our frequency is misaligned. Faith is the act of recalibrating that dial. It is the moment you choose, with absolute certainty, to turn your attention away from the storm you see and towards the perfect, unwavering lighthouse you believe to be there. This is the ultimate attention grabber, the revolutionary, profound act, the choice to believe in the benevolent structure of the universe, even when your immediate evidence suggests chaos. The power of faith is, at its core, the power of intentional expectation. It is the silent, unwavering command whispered to the deepest self. This, too, shall yield. It understands that the universe responds not to the logic of your despair, but to the certainty of your hope. If you expect failure, the universe, in its perfect non-resistance, will organize events to deliver exactly what you expected. But if you expect grace, strength, and opportunity, the magnetic poles of your life begin to shift. Faith clears the debris. It clears the psychological clutter that convinces us we are powerless, isolated, and small. It creates a vacuum of expectation into which new possibilities rush. The world does not need you to work harder. The world needs you to believe better. This is the revolutionary insight, the core message of transformation that echoes through every tradition and every moment of human triumph. And where does prayer fit into this magnificent architecture of belief? Prayer is not pleading. Prayer is the language of alignment. It is the disciplined, repeated practice of holding your internal state to the frequency of your highest potential. We often treat prayer like an urgent, last-minute telegram sent to a celestial headquarters. We panic. We demand. We instruct the universe on how it must solve our problems. Fix this relationship. Grant me this job. Remove this pain immediately. But this approach is deeply flawed, rooted in desperation, not devotion. Desperation vibrates at the frequency of fear, and fear attracts more fear. True prayer is an act of surrender and resonance. It begins not with what you want, but with gratitude. Gratitude is the master key, the universal solvent. When you begin your prayer by acknowledging the light, the life, the breath, the basic scaffolding of goodness that already surrounds you, you instantly elevate your internal frequency. You shift from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. This simple shift, the humble act of saying thank you, is the most potent form of energetic alignment possible. Once gratitude sets the stage, prayer becomes a process of intentional framing. Instead of praying for the outcome, which is manipulation, you pray for the internal resource to navigate the journey, which is mastery. Do not pray. Make this problem disappear. Pray. Grant me the wisdom to see this problem as a catalyst, and the courage to walk through the fire. Do not pray. Bring me the perfect love. Pray. Purify my own heart so that I may recognize and receive the love that is already seeking me. Do not pray, give me a sudden fortune. Pray. Sharpen my vision and increase my diligence so that I may become a perfect conduit for the abundance that is trying to flow through my work. This is the alchemy. This is the moment the unseen power of faith manifests in the daily texture of human life. It is the source of the light miracles. The light miracles are the 1,000 small confirmations that the universe is not indifferent. They are the daily occurrences that skepticism dismisses as mere coincidence, yet they stack up in a life of faith until they become an undeniable pattern of flow. The phone rings, and it's the person you were just thinking about, the precise moment you needed advice. That is a light miracle. You find the exact obscure passage in a book, the perfect phrase, the clear insight that dissolves a week of confusion, just as you sit down for a moment of silence. That is a light miracle. You feel a wave of intense, inexplicable calm wash over you in a moment of panic, anchoring you exactly when you felt you might break. That is a light miracle. These are not external interventions breaking the rules of physics. They are internal resonances creating new opportunities. Because your faith has opened the door to possibility and your prayer has tuned the radio to the right channel, you are now psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually ready to receive the solution that was always there. The miracle is not that the solution appeared. The miracle is that you finally had the clarity to see it. Faith is the master architect that provides the blueprint. Prayer is the discipline that lays the foundation every single day. But we must speak, too, of the profound darkness, the moments where faith is tested not by minor delays, but by monumental grief, loss, or pain. The challenge of maintaining belief when the evidence against it is overwhelming is the supreme test of human spirit. When the storm hits, the natural human instinct is to drop the anchor of faith and demand salvation. We demand that the pain stop, that the loved one return, that the injustice be corrected instantly. But true faith understands that pain is part of the growth, and loss is part of the cycle. In these deepest moments, the power of prayer shifts from a navigational tool to an anchor of the soul. It is the absolute, unyielding decision to root your being not in the fleeting reality of the waves crashing around you, but in the certainty of the depth below. The greatest prayer in the face of suffering is simple and profound. I accept this moment, and I ask only for the strength to honor the light within it. This prayer does not deny the pain. It simply refuses to let the pain define the entirety of existence. It provides an internal distance, a quiet sanctuary where your spirit can weather the storm without breaking. The miracle here is the deep, unearned grace that appears in the heart of the suffering, the perfect kindness from a stranger, the sudden memory of a cherished moment, the realization that you are fundamentally unbreakable. Faith teaches you that the opposite of suffering is not pleasure. The opposite of suffering is meaning. And prayer is the vehicle through which meaning is revealed, even in the darkest hours. It is the light that illuminates the purpose of the path, not just the destination. The final revolutionary act of faith is the creation of a persistent state of readiness. Imagine a farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check for growth. He performs the necessary rituals, water, sunlight, weeding, and then he rests in the faith that the seed will obey the laws of nature. His belief is not in magic. His belief is in the established, immutable order of the universe. Your faith is your planting. Your prayer is your daily watering. Once you have made your request, once you have stated your intention, the most powerful thing you can do is let it go. Stop checking the seed. Stop anxiously scanning the horizon for the delivery truck. The work is done. You have aligned. Now, you must act from a place of already knowing the answer is in motion. This is the lightness and the profoundness intertwined. It is light because it removes the heavy burden of constant micromanagement from your shoulders. It tells you to trust, to breathe, to relax, because a greater, More organized intelligence is managing the details. You are free to simply show up and be excellent in the present moment. It is profound because it shifts your self-perception from a desperate petitioner to a powerful co-creator. You are no longer begging for scraps. You are aligning with the infinite supply. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" The power of faith is fundamentally the power to choose your mental environment. You can choose to listen to the constant, anxious static of the world, or you can choose the clear, unwavering frequency of connection. This choice is entirely free. It requires no membership, no fee, and no special initiation. It simply requires a momentary pause, a turning away from the visible chaos, and a deep, confident whisper to the silence. I believe. I am ready. Let the highest good flow through me now. When you make this choice, you activate the most beautiful, creative force within the human experience. You stop waiting for miracles to descend from above, and you start realizing that you are the miracle, fully realized and aligned, finally ready to step into the life your faith has already pre-paved. All you have to do is begin. All you have to do is listen.